All right, so a simple rate problem, and this again is some of our proportion problems that we're dealing with. It says that Elijah drives 9 miles to his friend's house in 1/6 of an hour. How fast does Elijah drive in miles per hour? So, one of the clues here for us is this rate of miles per hour. This is our rate. So, we have miles per hour. So when we want to find this unit rate, how fast is he going miles per hour? Let's go back into the problem and let's look for some clues. So the first clue I see here is 9 miles. So I can say that he travels 9 miles. And he does that in 1/6 of an hour. So when I get this type of a problem, this just becomes a division problem. 9 divided by 1/6. So let's write that as 9 over 1 because it's going to be a fraction divided by 1/6. And I'm going to use my fraction rules. So when I divide fractions, I have to keep, change, and flip, which means we're going to keep this first number the same. It's going to stay 9 over 1. We are going to change the division into multiplication, and we flip the second fraction to 6 over 1. In reality, what we're doing is we're multiplying by the reciprocal. And when I do that, I end up with a answer of 54. And that's 54 miles in 1 hour. There's my unit rate. So this answers question number 1. How fast does Elijah drive in miles per hour? He drives 54 miles in 1 hour. But then they want us to answer a second question. If he drives at this rate for 2 hours, how far does he drive? Well, what this does is this puts us into the perspective of a proportional relationship. So we have to remember that the proportional relationship is some sort of y equals a k value times x. And what this means is that we can figure out the miles, this would be the y, right? Because this is our change in y over our change in x, by multiplying by the rate. So what I would do for this problem is I would say, okay, we're going to take the number of miles traveled, and that equals the rate of 54 times the number of hours traveled. So in this problem, we can find out how many miles he traveled if we would just multiply this by 2 hours. So it's going to equal 54 miles per hour times 2 hours and equal 108 miles. Now, that's using this proportional equation. I can also do this using just a straight proportion. So I could set this up by saying 54 miles, and I'm just doing the same problem, for 1 hour is equal to some number of miles in 2 hours. And this is where my students would all yell out the butterfly. All right, so the butterfly is going to fly now. So the butterfly is going to fly from the variable, grab the number above or below, and circle back to itself. And it's the flight of the butterfly. Now, what this means is that we're going to cross multiply 2 times 54. So 2 times 54. And we're going to take that and divide it by this denominator of 1. So 2 times 54 is 108. 108 divided by 1 is 108 miles, which again is equivalent to x. I hope that helps.